What's up, gang? How's it fucking... What is that? Is that a fucking spider on my wall? Hello, welcome back to this fucking graveyard. If you hear any construction noise in the background, I apologize for that in advance. My next door neighbours are, I don't know, digging holes in their backyard for some reason. Fucked if I know. It's been a while since I've like sat down in front of a camera and like filmed something, and I just felt like doing it. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put some makeup on, and I don't know what kind of look I'm gonna go for. Just gonna, I don't know, put things on, and then hopefully I'm gonna be filming another video straight after this, which will be gaming, but I don't fucking know what game I'm gonna play. I have like 50 games and I still cannot, for the life of me, decide which game to play to record. I have issues. I'm gonna start with some moisturizer, which is just a Frank Body one. It's like a caffeinated face moisturizer. You probably can't see it from here. I got given it as a gift, and it's actually been like the best face moisturizer I've used in a while, because it just really gets in there, and like a little goes a long way. This is a tiny bit, and it ends up covering my entire face, so it's pretty good. I already put a layer of this on, so I'm only putting a tiny bit on again, just for the sake of extra moistness. I have like dry face skin type, so that's why I fucking pack on the moisturizer and shit. I had a month of sobriety, so I wasn't drinking for an entire month, like 30 days, and now I'm back to being an alcoholic again, which is fine. I'm not being an alcoholic again, it's fine. I'm gonna do concealer next, which is the Maybelline Fit Me one. Very basic, nothing special. It's just the one that looks the least trash that I have tried. And I've only really tried like 2 or 3 concealers in my life, so I could be missing out. This works for me, so, and I can't be fucked trying other shit right now, so I'm not gonna do that. Who cares about concealer? What else have I been doing with my life? Fucking nothing, because I'm sad a lot, because work is shit. Yeah, work is, it's been a thing for me lately. I feel like I'm making no sense at all in the start of this video, because I've lost touch with myself. I just have forgotten how to make a video. I don't know. I work in customer service in retail, so that's always fun. And I guess I'm kind of over it, because I've nearly been there, I think in, gosh, when, I think it was like at the start of June, I started my job at where I work now, nearly 4 years ago, so it's coming up on that 4-year mark, and I'm fucking bored, and I want to do something else. I went with that company that I work with now, I went up to they've got like a hub that they produce goods in. I'm trying to be really vague because I don't want people to figure things out. But they have a hub, warehousey production area in the city, in Sydney, where they produce a lot of the products that you can get online, because I live in such a non-existent area. It's hard to get all of those products we cannot do in my store, because we don't have the machines to do that. So I went up there for a day and watched how they work, how they produce the jobs from like start to finish, all the types of stuff they do, even like the packaging and getting it ready to be sent off to different stores or delivered straight to the door. Even their like designs and pre-press team is was very fascinating. And I would go up there and I would have left where I am now to go work with them the same fucking day I went and visited for the first time if the drive wasn't 2 hours. Either way. Like, I would be spending, if I still lived where I do with my parents and I drove there, I would be wasting 4 fucking hours. 4 hours of my day just driving. And I don't think that's good for my brain. I already drive like half an hour, which is that's fine. Not complaining about that. But sometimes when I'm really tired, it is shit, and I almost like fall asleep while driving. So I don't want to risk a 2-hour drive while I'm super tired. I would have to move to make that possible, and I can't fucking afford that on my own, so that's not really an option. I rediscovered my love for fucking reading, so I just read a lot of books now. I'm gonna do contour next. I really need to invest in something that isn't shit for contour. I'm like squinting because I can't see how long it has left. In this random palette, these two were like a contour, like a darker contour shade, and then a bronzer shade, that's the word. Completely gone now. And they're pretty deep pans. So I don't actually have a proper contour palette. I just have this one, which is just a palette with heaps of random shades in it. So I now just use the contour out of this one and the blush most of the time, because they're in the same palette and it's easier to do it that way. I haven't really been doing a lot of creative stuff. One, because my job's been like absolutely flogging me emotionally and like mentally. It's just been a lot. So I'm like fucking tired. Kind of boring because I just know how to do everything now. I'm a person who just really loves fucking learning, and I'm just constantly like, give me the learns. So it's not stimulating my brain enough anymore, and I guess that's why I don't know, sort of never had the motivation to do anything. Like, I've got a few older things that I recorded from like before, like probably almost a year ago, like a year old recordings, and everything that I'm talking about in them is like practically irrelevant now, so I don't really have that much fun editing them. I tried to edit one and I'm like, none of this shit makes any sense. It's just not things I want to post anymore. So that's why nothing exists on my channel for like fucking ages. I don't even know how long it's been since I last posted something. I'm still alive, so that's pretty cool, I guess. It's definitely cool. It's cool to be alive, kids. Remember that. I don't think I want to put blush on today, so I'm gonna leave that. Yeah, just because of work, I guess I kind of just lost my motivation to want to do anything. And then the past like 2 weeks, I think it's been like 2 weeks or so, I've just been having a bit of an existential crisis, and I'm just not really sure what the fuck I'm doing anymore. Like, I kind of just feel like I'm floating somewhere in the universe and I'm not really doing anything useful, which is irritating because I always have this like desire to do something that's actually useful, and then I just don't have the motivation ever, and it keeps going in this circle of just, I really need to do something, but then I'm like, I don't want to do something because I don't feel like doing something, or I can't find the particular something that I feel like doing right now. So now I just have to, I'm not sure where that cut off, but basically I'll start again from the Sydney thing. I went up to Sydney for a few days, like last week, and usually I'd be really frantic about like setting things up and getting things ready before I leave and making sure this and this and this happens while I'm gone, and making sure that, you know, we don't run out of stock while I'm not there to order it, because I'm the only person that does the ordering. But this time I just did not give a fuck at all, which was nice. It was good because it allowed me to actually enjoy my time away. But obviously you have to come back to reality at some point, and it just hits you in the face again, and you're like, oh yeah, that's right, I'm kind of bored of my job. But I really love going to the city, like just spending that time like walking around on my own, and just knowing that like I could walk in this direction or this direction or this direction or this direction, and it just, there will be something to look at wherever the fuck you walk is insane, because where I live out here, there's like nothing. It's very, very alone and secluded, and there's no opportunities in the shit that I'm interested in. Like, I can't even go to a music college or get any kind of music education, because that's what I've been really interested in my entire life. I can't really do any of that stuff without having this massive block of, again, like, travel. 2 hours into the city, 2 hours back on the train. Like, my parents are thinking, pretty set on moving in the next year or two south, pretty far south, a few like hours away from where we live now, which means I'm not going with them. I need to figure out within the next year what the hell I'm gonna do with myself in terms of like work, financials, and living space. Like, I don't know. What did I do? I did my eyebrows. I use an e.l.f. This is just e.l.f. eyebrow gel pomade thing, and now I'm gonna use some of this random brow gel. This is not really gel, I don't know what it is. It's liquid and it's brown, and it kind of keeps your eyebrows in place. Doesn't really work all that well, so I don't know why I still use it sometimes. But you know, it gives a little bit more dimension. But yeah, so I need to figure out my living situation real fast. And I only work part-time at the moment because I can afford to do that. And I don't really do that much outside of work, other than like procrastinating things and doing my own like this kind of stuff, which I obviously haven't been doing lately. But I do other things like art, and I play a shit ton of video games. I just bought an iPad too. I bought an iPad Pro and an Apple Pencil, so I've been like drawing shit, and it's fun. But yeah, that's my fucking eyebrows. I've always liked my eyebrows, like natural shape has been very easy to follow, and it's like, it's a nice eyebrow shape, so I've always been pretty fucking blessed with the eyebrows. Eyeshadow time, I guess. And I'm just trying to think if there was anything else in particular that I wanted to like mention. Oh, there are some things I'm sitting right next to. I'll show you before I do my eyeshadow. I've always wanted those adult coloring books that you see like everywhere. That they were like a massive craze like 2 years ago or some shit. And I've always wanted one because I feel like colouring in is therapeutic and relaxing. So I went out to the bookstore a little while ago, a couple of weeks ago, and I got one of those. Well, I got two and another book, but this one is Memos to Shitty People, sweary messages and angry notes to colour your frustration away. Yeah, we'll do this one. So the back of the page is black, and then the actual page that you colour in is obviously not black, but I think it's just so like, you know, you can't see through it. It's really cool. This one says, find a corner and fuck yourself. Let's have a few others. I'll read you some. Try to be less of a dick, please. I appreciate your input, but I still think you're a douchebag. Oh my gosh. This one says, alright motherfucker, keep your piss flaps closed. And it's got like badges. It's got badger on it. I hope you can see that. But yeah, that's this one. It's really good. It's by James Alexander, if you're interested. So that one's more like phrases and shit. And then this one, which is also by James Alexander, is just called Shit Happens. And this one, as you can see the big asshole up there, is just swear words. So just the words by themselves, pretty much. Or like 2 words. Oh my gosh. this is gonna be the best one, but I think most of these, if not all of them, are landscape this time. And this one says Cum Guzzler. So I have a secret ASMR channel. See if you can find it. I bet you can't, but I make ASMR videos as well because I consume that shit so much and I love it. But I think now for one of those videos, I'm gonna color in one of these pages or some of the pages. I'll make a whole fucking series out of it. This one's pretty cool. They're all like big block letters and like patterns. This one says dipshit. This one says bastard. This one says cunt muffin. I flicked through them and I was like, oh my god, I finally found it. I need both of them. And on the same day, I also bought this big boy, which is a book about plants, because I'm not sure if any of you have seen on my Instagram, I have been collecting plants lately since like the whole pandemic shit started, like a lot of people. This book I picked up about plants because I was like, ooh, indoor, like I can't speak. The title is The Leaf Supply Guide to Creating Your Indoor Jungle. So it's pretty much just got some tips on what kind of plants like are recommended for different spaces. It's just like a really nice aesthetic looking book. Some of the pictures are just really nice and I'm like, ooh, because I'm like a very visual person. I love picture books. So the fact that this doesn't have it's not just a shitload of text. It does have really nice photography and photos in it. The designs are really nice and just a little bit of text on each page. It's not like a shitload. That's the 3 books that I bought. Eyeshadow. Anyway, next, this is gonna be a fucking nightmare to edit. I want to do dark. I was gonna use this palette of those They Who Shall Not Be Named because, you know, we don't really support that shit anymore. But I'm not just gonna throw out stuff that I bought because that would be wasteful. And then here's another palette of someone else that we're not gonna fucking talk about either because these motherfuckers cannot keep themselves out of drama to save their life. Yeah, I might just do like a neutral dark. Or do I want to do a halo eye? Halo eye with like orange in it? Yeah, we can do that. Cool. Starting off with a really dark shade, which is just a stupid idea. If you want to be able to blend things out nicely, just ease yourself into it a little bit. I'm lazy, so I don't want to sit here and blend my eye to death. So I just sometimes go really bold. So I'm using the brown up in this corner. Oops, put my finger in it. It's more of it's a cooler dark brown, cooler tone, so not warm. Duh, that's what the word cool means. So just putting it on the outer corners to start with, and then I'll get a smaller brush and put it on the inner corners. I had a confrontation, I guess you could say, or just an intense conversation with one of my friends, and it just, I know they're going to be watching this, so, you know, I'll try not to roast you. It was pretty intense in the headspace that I was in. It was not the conversation to be having when I felt the way that I did. That wasn't great. And that was on like the same day that I had a really bitchy customer at work. She was super rude. She was literally just she couldn't wrap her head around the fact that how like stock works. She thought that because she bought an exclusive printer from us that we would always have the ink in stock. And I'm like, I don't know where you're getting this logic from, but that's not how logistics work. That like, we don't make printers, we just sell products. So the fact that we don't have the ink in stock at the moment, like a shit ton of other inks we just cannot get in from all the brands that we have, like HP, Epson, Canon, and Brother, like all of these, we just don't have a lot of ink. It's so hard to get it in because it's just not being manufactured. She was just having a go at me like I was the one physical person who decided that we weren't going to stock the inks today. I don't get it. And then she was mad because she had to wait 2 days for an order to come in. And I'm like, bitch, what the fuck? You can go to any other store if you want and get them yourself. Some of our other chains our other stores in the next area have stock, so you can go there. Like, it's an hour drive from our store, but if you're that desperate for the ink, it's there, go buy it. And she was like, she couldn't be bothered to do that either, so I'm like, fuck. Okay, so we ordered the shit in for her anyway. She came back in and had to go because the order confirmation that was sent to her didn't give her a date that her ink would be in, and she was worried about that, even though we just told her how long it would take to come in. And then she stormed out saying our customer service was appalling or whatever. And I'm like, girl, I'm just trying to help you understand how ordering things in and how we stock products works. I'm just trying to explain that to you. I was not being rude to her at all. I was just trying to gently explain it to her that that's not how things work. How she was thinking they do, like, no. Anyway, she storms out, she's like, whatever. And then her inks turn up the next day. One day, not even 24 hours turnaround. And I'm like, girl, oh my god. I wanted to yeet her order into the bin. So after I had that day, I was bitching about my work again, and then this person was telling me to quit my job, and I was having a moment over it because I don't want to quit because I need to have another job before I can do that, because I have a loan and shit. I have to pay board and crap, and I have a dog to look after, so I can't just not have a job. But I haven't been looking for another job because the idea of getting another job just terrifies me. So it's just this big old circle that just goes round and round and round. And yes, I'm also very frustrated with myself. Try living inside here. It's not fun. Okay, so I've done the outer corners. Now I get a smaller brush and I'm just gonna wipe it all over my already dirty pants. So I got a smaller brush. I'm gonna stick it in the inner corner. Now this bit is a little bit challenging and it always kind of looks shit when I do it, so don't worry about what it looks like when you do it, because I guarantee you that mine also looks really shitty because I just don't take it seriously. And it's not really meant to be taken seriously. Like, makeup is, it's just a form of art, and you don't need, it's not like maths or English where there's a straight answer for something and you're doing an exam and you have to get the answer right. It's just makeup and you can just do whatever you want with it. There's no rules, there's no right or wrong. Now this probably looks super uneven, but I am kind of beyond giving a shit. I might use the smaller brush and pack a little bit more in the outer corner. But when I do, see what I do when I like do the inner corner, instead of like trying to get it straight on, you kind of like sort of close your eye a bit and then angle the brush so that it gets in the corner, and like lift your eyebrow so you have as much space as possible to get a brush in there, and then just kind of like look down or close your eye, whatever works. Look, I like keeping my eyes open. Alright, now I just blend it out a little bit. Just gonna help blend it out with going back into the slightly lighter shade to help soften the edges. So I just spent like a whole day just crying a lot because of that lady twice, and then because of a really not so fun conversation with someone. But it doesn't matter because life goes on forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. Like, there's so much time for me to do what I want to do and be what I want to be, so I just need to stop thinking like I'm gonna miss out on something and just sit down and do the thing that you feel like you want to do right now, instead of thinking about what path do I take to take, like, what do I do now to make the path this way to get me to there, to do that well, to get me over there, to get me to my ultimate goal. Who cares? Just do what is good for you right this fucking second, and stop worrying so much about where you're going in the future. Just focus on where you're going today. Now I'm gonna put orange in the center, so I'm just gonna dab this e.l.f. eye primer where I want to put the color, and I'm just trying to like dab it so that I'm not picking up color on the doe foot applicator itself and putting it back into the bottle, which I should probably not be doing what I'm doing, but I'm not a professional, so I don't know what I'm doing. And then we're just gonna tap it out a little bit. Try not to drag it around too much. While it's still kind of tacky, we might get one of these brushes it's not really a brush, one of these things, you know, these shitty things that you get in a crappy eyeshadow palette. I'm gonna use orange juice from the palette of someone who just doesn't exist to me anymore. And then we just sort of tap it on. I like using these types of applicators with like metallic shades because it simulates like a finger or skin and it's less messy, so I'm not gonna have that colour stuck on my finger that I need to wipe off or accidentally end up wiping on my face, because I've done that before and I felt really stupid. I'll look a bit crazy, don't worry. We're gonna blend it out a little bit more. So if we go back to a larger fluffy brush that we were using before and just go around the edges doing tiny little circle motions, but mostly just like tapping the edges to get it to blend, because if you do too much of the big swirls, you're gonna lose the color that you just put down and you're sort of gonna smudge it all over the eyelid, which you probably don't really want. So if I've been like sitting down like this the whole time, my mirror is down here, so kind of need that to see. And even though I was being really gentle, I've kind of taken away some of the color. I'm gonna go back in, just being really careful about where we put it this time. And if you feel like it's less with this eye, more with this eye, if you feel like you've kind of like over blended it and it's kind of gone a bit everywhere and you're like, I don't want this shadow to be everywhere, you can dip back into one of your darker shadows. I'm probably going to use the smaller brush for this, a bit more precise, and just tap around the edges again to put a bit of color back over the metallic so that it's like less reflective and shiny and messy. And then because I've put it up the top here, I'm gonna have to blend it back out again. Yeah, it's just a process, you know, just a lot of back and forth sometimes. And I'm just gonna blend out under the eyebrow because that seems to have gotten a bit messy. And now it's a little bit cleaner. Sometimes I put the same shadow that I've put in the center underneath my eye in the center, but I think I'm just going to keep it really dark under there. So I'm just going to take the smaller brush that I was using, and with the residue of the dark shadow, I'm just going to put it under the eyes a bit more. And then I'll grab the bigger brush and blend it out under there. Rune Seeker Red. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna put glitter on actually. This elf thing again. So I'll put a bit more of that down over the top, which is pretty much just removed the orange. And I'm just gonna grab the brush that I usually use for, it's a really shitty dodgy brush. But it's the one that I usually use for glitter because I don't care about the brush. I like to take my mirror down and hold it like this and look down into the mirror so that the glitter falls down and onto the mirror instead of it falling onto my face. There you go, just a little bit of sparkle. Does anyone else remember bulkglitters.com? I had somebody do a video on these little itty bitty jars, and that's why I bought them. And although the whole package cost me like $60, $70, I got like 15 of these little jars of different shades. I still haven't completely used any of them, and I've had them for like 5 or 6 years now. We're going to put mascara on, and then we're pretty much done from there. I'm not gonna do eyeliner. I should definitely quit my job though. Thing is, I wish I could do this full time, but if I don't put in the hard yards, I'm not gonna be able to do anything. I'm not going to be able to do it, and I haven't been working hard enough to deserve it. I need to try a bit harder, you know, or a lot harder. Sorry, my head is down because I'm doing the bottom lashes. I want new sleepers too. These ones are really cute, and they're just like gold bands with little, I believe they're cubic zirconia. I lost the other sleepers that I had. I lost one of them, so I can't really have just one in. I want to get my whole all the way up my ears pierced. I'm also really scared because it's gonna hurt. I'm not gonna do lipstick because I hate wearing lipstick. Anyway, this has been a fucking journey. Thanks for listening to me rant about crap. I'm gonna go have a break. It's getting really hot in here. I'm gonna have a break and then I'm gonna go play some games. So if you want to check out me playing some games, go to my channel and you'll see me play some other games like Pokemon. I've played Minecraft, Amnesia, played a few games. So if you're interested in also watching me play games, then go down below and don't forget to press the subscribe button so you won't miss when I upload something else. I have other makeup videos as well, so if you want to watch me do my makeup drunk, I have 3 of those now, I think. Press the bell notification icon, and there is something that I would like to ask of you. If you have been watching all this way, if you could please give the video a thumbs up. It's very important to me and for me to help my channel grow and for other people to see the video. I need engagement. Comment down below, what is your favorite color eyeshadow? I'm not sure what mine would be. I think mine would be pink. That's the ones that I've done the most, and I don't even like pink as a color that much. I want to know if anyone says green, because you guys need to fucking show me how to use green. Because I don't know, like I'm terrible at using green. Even though my eyes are green, like, pink just is... I've got so many pink eyeshadows, I think that's what it is. Thank you so much for watching and listening to me chat shit, and I will see you in the next video that I make. Bye! It's so sweaty! Also, because I forgot to say this before I finish recording on my camera, follow me on Instagram. I have an Instagram account. It is here on the screen. You should follow me there. I post lots of selfies and like sometimes other shit. I do post on my stories a lot about, you know, whatever I'm doing. So if you're interested in what happens when I'm not recording videos, you should go follow me there.